Hey there, Synthrones. Today we're going to be talking about the Korg monopoly clone coming out from Behringer and whether or not Behringer can be sued for the monopoly name. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone, and this is my channel where I talk about synthesizers. And you could be a part of the conversation by hitting the subscribe button and tapping the bell to keep up with all of my synth adventures. PureAmbientDrone.com is the place to be to keep up with me. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of questions about the Korg monopoly clone by Behringer that was announced yesterday. And most of the questions are, how is Behringer able to call it the monopoly? Well, let's talk about this question and let's kind of separate the issue between copyright and trademark. Now, a copyright is when you make a song or a book or other kind of artful creation and you complete it. That is an automatic copyright as long as you can prove it's your original work. So let me break it down. If you write a song and you put it out there on the internet and somebody steals it away from you and creates their version of it, you can sue them for copyright infringement. Same goes if you take somebody's song and make a cover of it and don't go through the legal channels, you could be sued for copyright infringement. Now, trademark is a little bit different. Trademark is where, say, you make your own original songs, but you use a name like Def Leppard, AC/DC. You get what I'm saying? That would be a trademark infringement. You're not allowed to take somebody's name. So let's take the word copyright out of this conversation because there is no copyright infringements going on with what's happening with the Korg monopoly. The question is trademark. Well, it's probably safe to say that Korg allowed the monopoly registered trademark to one either lapse, okay, just like fade out into nowhere, or they still have it. Behringer also trademarked the word monopoly. But if you look at the two words, one from Korg and one from Behringer, you will see that Korg separates monopoly into two separate words with a slash, whereas Behringer doesn't. Now, if Korg is still maintaining the trademark on the monopoly, which is possible, I was thinking about this because they do have the software versions of their synths, then there could be a question of whether or not Behringer's trademarked monopoly is too close to the Korg, and there could be a lawsuit because of that. So that's a very interesting question of whether or not Korg has any legal rights to go after Behringer with the monopoly name. Now we know that Roland did not like it when Behringer released the MS-1 and called it the MS-101. It was too close to the SH-101. I don't know what happened to make Behringer change their name to the MS-1 from the MS-101. I'm only assuming they did it because they were too close to trademark. Then somebody asked me in the comments on one of the videos, can Behringer, if they hold the only trademark to the monopoly name, can they now go after Korg for what they did in the past? I don't see that as a possibility unless Korg started reissuing the monopoly. But then you get into a whole bunch of other gray area because Korg is the original creator of the monopoly. And that would have to be something left up to the courts and whether or not it's even worth suing over. And remember, Korg also has the ARP Odyssey, and now Behringer has an ARP Odyssey. So there's some trademark questions there as well. But here's the biggest trademark question I think a lot of people are missing. There is a board game called Monopoly, but it's spelled Monopoly, and it's owned by Hasbro. So this opens up a whole new can of worms for Behringer because Hasbro could actually come up and sue them for using the name Monopoly. So this all becomes very interesting. Again, I don't think copyright is anywhere on the table for any of these questions. I think this is totally a trademark issue, but it's a very, very interesting question indeed, because Behringer is on the forefront of making synthesizer history again, if you will. And it would be interesting to see how much animosity they're going to receive from their competitors. Make no mistakes. In business, there is nothing but competitiveness. If you're not getting a share of the pie in business, your competitor is, and that leaves less for you. It is a competitive thing to be in the synth market or any business. And I'm sure that there are executives sitting around the round tables discussing what can we do about Behringer and them remaking all of this stuff, taking these old names. It's an interesting question. Now, as for me, I'm glad for what Behringer is doing because I love the old synthesizers. I love all synthesizers. But if they're not doing it correctly, they could be hurting themselves in the long run. And we synth drones could be very disappointed if some of these products that they're making over at Behringer is pulled away from us. Well, that's my thoughts, but what are your thoughts? Leave a comment below and let's discuss this. Until next time, I am Pure Ambient Drone, and keep calm and synth on.